Yo, yo, yo. Twitter's literally melting down right now, fam. No cap. The internet's been straight up wild since the bombshell dropped about Lil Jeff, and honestly, this is insane. Like you're not ready for the chaos going down in the comments. The TikTok edits blowing up, and those not the receipts dropping mid-live moments that got everybody shook. It's giving full-on plot twist vibes, and honestly, I'm just here trying to piece it all together. So, quick tea, you've probably seen the headlines saying Lil Jeff's story ended before it even really started. But hold up, because sources say there's way more to this than what the mainstream's spilling. Like fans are going OF with wild theories, some are dragging people nobody expected, and the whole vibe. It's low-key suspicious, like something big's been hidden behind the scenes. There's whispers of drama, alleged betrayals, and even some deep loyalty conflicts that got people questioning who really had Jeff's back. Meanwhile, TikTok's flooding with reaction clips, people losing it. Others throwing shade, and some straight-up emotional breakdowns. You've got live streams catching fans crying and debating if this is justice or just a setup. The comment wars. Insane. Half the people are hyped, the other half swearing it's all cap. The energy is mad toxic. But you know, I gotta spill every bit, so buckle up. Cause what I'm about to tell you is part Netflix doc, part Twitter thread, and 100% wild. There's leaks, alleged audio receipts, celeb reactions, and twists that'll make your jaw drop. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. Let's get it. Alright, so here's the deal. Lil Jeff's story didn't just end with some basic news clip or a headline you scroll past. Nah, this whole situation is way messier than people think. You see, the official reports made it sound like it was a simple case. Some street beef gone wrong, a tragic end. But if you've been lurking on Twitter threads, TikTok comments, and those shady Instagram DMs, you already know there's mad layers underneath. First off, let's talk about Jeff himself. Lil Jeff was not just your average up-and-comer. Sources close to the scene say he was caught in this wild mix of loyalty and betrayal from the jump. People say he was riding with some heavy hitters, but also got low-key heat for switching sides, or at least that's what the rumors claim. It's honestly hard to separate fact from fiction when the streets, the gram, and the internet are all throwing different versions. One source, who asked to stay anonymous but says they were in Jeff's circle, spilled some tea about how Jeff's last few weeks were a roller coaster. Apparently, there was this heated argument that went down at a party. No cameras, no witnesses except the people on the scene, but this beef escalated fast. They say Jeff confronted a close homie about some sketchy business, and things got too real. Too quick. Meanwhile, on social media, fans started piecing together clips from Jeff's last Instagram lives. If you rewind, you can hear Jeff sounding off, low-key, frustrated, like he was trying to warn someone, or maybe himself. He was talking about trust being a luxury and people switching up when you least expect it. Classic Gen Z mood, but with that heavy undercurrent of something deeper. Of course, some folks think it was just music promo, but nah. Those vibes were way too raw. Things really exploded when a leaked audio started circulating. This clip, which has since been taken down and reposted a million times, allegedly had Jeff on the phone with someone he called brother, sounding tense as hell. The convo hinted at plans, fears, and a feeling like he was being set up. The energy. It's straight up chilling. The internet reacted instantly. TikTok creators jumped on the audio, breaking down every word like it was the last episode of a crime doc. Fans created edits where Jeff's voice was layered over dramatic clips, you know? Those moody, black and white visuals with slow zoom-ins. Yeah, those. Comments were flooding in, with some people calling it too real and others calling fake news. Because the clip was kinda grainy and had background noise at the same time. The fan theories went full conspiracy mode. One popular theory said Jeff was caught in the crossfire of a bigger power play between some major rap factions. Another claimed he was the victim of a betrayal from within his own crew. A snitch situation, allegedly. And then there's the people who swear he was being targeted because of some underground money moves no one knew about. The whole situation felt like an episode straight out of a Netflix crime series, but this time, it's happening live. To make things even crazier, some celebrities started weighing in. Lil Durk dropped a cryptic Instagram story with the caption, "Loyalty over everything," right when the rumors about Jeff went viral. Kodak Black was spotted liking and commenting on posts about the situation. And that's wild, because Kodak's usually low-key about these things, unless it's personal. People started speculating. Are they sending messages? Are there alliances forming behind the scenes? Or is this just them paying respect? No one's sure. Meanwhile, the comment sections became battlefield zones. Fans were divided, some defending Jeff's legacy, others accusing him of playing dangerous games. The toxicity was real, with fans accusing each other of being fake supporters, or, worse, plants trying to twist the narrative. This wasn't just fan drama, it was cultural warfare, and the stakes felt crazy high. Through it all, there was a steady drip of new leaks popping off. Screenshots of DM conversations allegedly between Jeff and a few key players surfaced, and they were wild. One exchange showed Jeff calling someone out for moving like a snake, while the other side begged for another chance and promised loyalty. The tension was thick, even through text, and fans were eating it up, breaking down every emoji and punctuation mark like it held some secret code. At one point, a popular YouTuber who's known for getting exclusive inside info claimed to have an interview with a closest... Okay, so after all that chaos, you'd think things would start to settle, right? Nah, fam. The drama only exploded harder, and honestly, some of the stuff that popped off next straight up shook the internet to its core, right after that mysterious IG Live confession from the former friend. The floodgates opened. Suddenly, everyone who had ever crossed paths with Lil Jeff was either getting dragged or coming forward with their own side of the story. The way social media went off. It was like a damn reality show, and no one had a script. One of the biggest shakeups came from a leaked DM conversation involving a big name you did not expect: a rapper with massive clout. Someone who's usually above the street beef drama, but apparently had ties to Jeff's circle. The screenshots were all over Twitter, showing a heated argument where Jeff was calling this person out for playing both sides and messing with the wrong people. People were losing it. Did he really say that? Was trending everywhere. Then the celebrity reactions started pouring in harder than ever. Lil Durk posted a video of himself, visibly frustrated, saying, "This ain't what the culture's about. We gotta protect each other, not feed the drama." But of course, people read into it and started guessing who he was throwing shade at. Kodak Black? Some other rapper? The speculation was endless, and you know the Twitter mobs were having a field day. Meanwhile, some lesser-known but connected insiders started dropping exclusives, claiming Jeff's death wasn't just about personal beef. It was connected to some bigger underground hustle involving stolen money, fake loyalty, and even hints at a setup involving some industry execs. The words dirty politics and power moves kept popping up, fueling even more fan theories. On top of that, some wild fake screenshots began circulating, some obviously fake, but others? Hard to tell. One showed a group chat where Jeff supposedly exposed someone in his crew planning to betray him. Another had a leaked voice note where a heated conversation hinted at plans to take care of business before it got messy. These fake leaks blurred the lines so much that fans started doubting even official sources that the whole situation got even messier when a surprise IG Live dropped from a woman claiming to be Jeff's longtime confidant. She spilled some serious alleged tea, like how Jeff was dealing with paranoia, feeling watched, and even having moments where he didn't know who to trust anymore. She said, "Jeff wasn't just scared of the streets. He was scared of his own circle." The clip went viral within minutes, and everyone was debating. She was for real or just trying to stir the pot? The plot thickened even more with an unexpected alliance forming. A rapper who's usually seen as an outsider to Jeff's scene suddenly started showing public support for Jeff's legacy, calling out fake friends and sending real ones only messages on socials. Fans went crazy trying to figure out if this was a genuine move or just some clout chase. The internet's favorite rumor mill went full throttle, speculating on secret meetups and backdoor deals. Meanwhile, on TikTok, the trend of Lil Jeff's last days videos was exploding. People were remixing clips from his music, interviews, and the leaked audios into these emotional montages. The captions ranged from "rest easy, real ones" to "the streets took him too soon." And the comments? Heartbreaking, but also filled with anger, confusion, and calls for justice. The comment wars on Twitter reached a new peak, with some fans accusing others of glorifying violence or spreading misinformation. There were heated threads debating whether Jeff was a victim of circumstance or if he played a risky game and lost. The energy was mad chaotic, with people yelling facts only. 1 minute and stop the cap. The next dot then, the police finally said something, kind of. They released a vague statement saying the investigation was ongoing, but asked for patience and respect for the family. Of course, no new details were given, which just fueled more speculation. Some fans were convinced this silence was intentional, part of a cover-up, or maybe a way to let tempers cool before the truth dropped. Amid all this, a strange new figure entered the narrative, a supposed whistleblower from inside Jeff's crew, who went live on YouTube, claiming they had evidence that could flip the whole story upside down. They said they had receipts showing how some people close to Jeff were playing double agents, leaking info and setting him up for something bigger. The live stream was chaotic, full of tearful moments, angry rants, and cryptic clues. The chat exploded in real time with fans begging for details. Some accusing the person of just chasing clout, and others swearing the whole thing was real. Clips from that stream got shared everywhere, and it felt like the drama was entering a whole new phase, less about mourning, more about exposing secrets. And speaking of secrets, some new lyrics from an up-and-coming rapper surfaced that people think were a direct diss toward whoever betrayed Jeff. The lines were brutal and raw, full of coded messages and references to loyalty and snakes. The track blew up, and fans analyzed every bar, trying to decode who it was about at the same time. Conspiracy theories kept evolving. One of the more wild ones claimed Jeff's death was connected to a larger feud involving an international rapper, secret deals, and even hints of cartel involvement. People were making TikTok videos explaining these theories like they were true crime episodes, and the views astronomical. But here's where the emotional core really hits. Amid all the drama and internet chaos, spums started emerging, showing Jeff's family and close friends breaking down on camera, real, raw grief that no meme or theory could touch. One video showed Jeff's mom tearfully begging fans to stop the hate and focus on healing. Another clip had a close friend pleading for peace, saying Jeff wouldn't want this madness. It was a harsh reminder that behind all the viral drama, this was a human tragedy. And that tension between the hype online and the real heartbreak offline made the whole story even more intense. So yeah, the saga kept unfolding in real time, a wild mix of truth, rumors, loyalty, betrayal, and heartbreak that had the whole internet hooked. The line between friend and foe, fact and fiction, was so blurred you couldn't tell what was what anymore. And just when people thought the story couldn't get any crazier, that whistleblower promised more evidence was coming and that the real story was about to drop, shaking up everything we thought we knew. Alright, buckle up. Because things just went from chaotic to straight-up explosive. After that whistleblower's dramatic YouTube live, the whole internet was buzzing, waiting for the real story to drop. And no cap, the receipts they promised. They did not disappoint. So, this whistleblower, let's call them Jay, claimed to have been part of Jeff's inner circle, but said they got out when things started to get too dangerous. Jay's live stream was wild, shaky camera, moments where they looked over their shoulder like someone might be watching, and a raw, urgent vibe that felt like a confession straight from a crime thriller. Jay started spilling tea. That sent shockwaves through the community. Apparently, there was more than just street beef behind Jeff's death. Jay alleged there was a set-up-an elaborate plan cooked up by people Jeff thought were his closest allies. The motive? Money, power, and control over a new hustle that Jeff was trying to break into. This wasn't just about disrespect or rival crews. This was industry politics mixed with street loyalty. And things got deadly serious fast. One of the wildest claims was that some of Jeff's trusted homies were feeding information to an outside group, people who had no qualms about throwing Jeff under the bus to protect their own interests. According to Jay, this betrayal wasn't sudden, but had been brewing for months, with secret meetings and coded messages going down behind the scenes. The chat during Jay's livestream exploded with questions. Fans begged for names and evidence, and Jay didn't hold back. They dropped screenshots of DMs, snippets of leaked audio conversations, even cryptic videos that looked like secret footage from a meeting. Every time Jay hinted at more, the chat went nuts, demanding receipts. But here's where it got even messier. Jay claimed that after Jeff started realizing who was playing him, there was a huge falling out. Allegedly, Jeff confronted these people during a party, the same one we heard about earlier, and things spiraled. Jay said that after that confrontation, Jeff was basically marked, and then the setup allegedly went into motion. Jay described how Jeff was lured into a trap where the brothers he trusted supposedly turned their backs on him. The infamous night wasn't random. It was planned, cold, and calculated. The more Jay talked, the more you could feel the tension, like you were watching the climax of a movie. Of course, not everyone was buying Jay's story. Some fans accused them of clout chasing, saying this was just another layer of drama added to keep views up. But others were convinced it was the truth, especially because some of the screenshots and audio Jay shared matched bits of leaked content that had already been circulating. The biggest moment, though, was when Jay dropped a bombshell, a name. They said a prominent figure in Jeff's crew was the real mastermind behind the betrayal, the one who flipped the whole narrative and caused the chain reaction that ended in Jeff's death. Naturally, the name got clipped and spread everywhere within minutes, sparking new waves of outrage, shock, and speculation. Social media instantly blew up with that name trending, and people started digging through their past posts, videos, and comments trying to connect dots. Some accounts started getting deleted or going private, adding more fuel to the fire. The phrase "snakes in the grass" was trending, and it felt like the whole rap community was holding its breath, waiting for how this would unfold next. Celebrities, who'd been mostly quiet until then, suddenly started weighing in again. Some dropped vague posts about loyalty and betrayal, while others flat out denied any knowledge, calling for peace. But the internet was already deep into the conspiracy, and fans were relentless, dissecting every move from everyone involved. Amid all the chaos, Jeff's family remained in the spotlight. They released a statement urging respect and privacy, but also hinted at their own pursuit of justice. The pain in their words was real and raw, and some fans rallied around them, while others argued the family should speak out more openly about what really happened. The aftermath of Jay's reveal led to more leaks, videos, messages, and even a short clip from a so-called inside source who confirmed parts of the story. saying the betrayal ran deeper than anyone imagined. This insider talked about layers of deception and who's really pulling the strings, suggesting that even some people in the industry were involved behind the scenes. The internet's reaction: a mix of disbelief, hype, and sadness. Some fans felt vindicated, saying the truth was finally coming out. Others worried the whole saga was spiraling out of control, turning a tragic loss into a messy spectacle. Meanwhile, the music world started responding through art. Several rappers dropped tracks referencing loyalty, betrayal, and the cost of the game, some directly mentioning Jeff or hinting at the drama without naming names. These songs quickly climbed the charts, fueling the narrative and keeping the story alive in every playlist. And then came the unexpected: a surprise IG live from a rapper who'd been quiet for months but was rumored to have a close connection to Jeff. This live was emotional and raw, with a rapper talking about grief, the cost of fame, and warning others to be careful about who they trust. It wasn't a direct call-out, but felt like a clear message to the people involved. Fans ate it up, dissecting every word, looking for hidden meanings and clues. The drama felt like it was building toward some kind of reckoning, and nobody wanted to miss what came next. But just as things seemed to be reaching a fever pitch, a mysterious account appeared on Twitter. This account started dropping cryptic posts, screenshots, and even old videos, claiming to reveal the missing pieces of the puzzle. The account had no verified identity, which only made fans more curious and suspicious. The posts hinted at secret deals, false friendships, and a power struggle involving Jeff's crew and some industry executives. Some posts suggested that the tragedy wasn't just a street problem, but connected to a larger network of control and influence in the rap game. People started calling this the shadow account and conspiracy. Theories around it exploded. Was this account legit? Was it part of the setup? Or maybe just someone trying to stir the pot even more? As all these pieces fell into place, the mood online was intense, a mix of excitement, anxiety, and deep sadness. Fans who had been defending Jeff's legacy were now caught up in a drama that felt like it was bigger than any one person. And through it all, the biggest question remained unanswered: was Jeff a victim of betrayal? Or was he caught in a storm he never saw coming? Was this a case of justice finally being served? Or was it all part of a dangerous game played by people with much more power? The story's far from over, and if you thought the tea was hot now, trust me's about to boil over. Alright fam, if you thought the drama couldn't get any more insane, buckle up, because part 4 is where the fallout hits the fan like a bomb went off. After the whistleblower dropped that name and the shadow account started stirring the pot, things didn't just simmer, they straight up exploded across every platform. The internet was officially on fire. Twitter threads turned into digital battlegrounds, with fans coming at each other from every angle. People were calling out the snakes, defending Jeff's legacy, dragging alleged traitors, and throwing around receipts like confetti. The hashtags #Justice for Lil Jeff and #Who Really Did It were trending nonstop. The energy was pure chaos, but in that chaos, a strange kind of community was forming around the shared need for answers. But it wasn't just fans losing it. Some artists jumped into the mix with public calls for peace and loyalty, while others dropped subtle, savage hints in their songs and posts. Social media blew up with cryptic messages like "Trust no one," "Real ones only," and "The game's dirty. Watch your back." Some of these posts came from unexpected places: artists who usually stay quiet on drama, but clearly felt the weight of what was happening. And then came the leaks. The leaks. Screenshots, voice notes. Private D-Mizzet was like watching a live crime drama unfold. One leaked DM from a well-known figure in Jeff's crew showed them threatening someone who disrespected the code. Fans clutched their pearls. Another voice note was of a heated phone call where someone was begging for forgiveness, saying, "I never meant for it to get this far." The drama was so wild that even news outlets started covering it, but not in the usual rapper dies, streets react style. They were diving into the rumors, the leaks, and the industry politics swirling around the case. The story was no longer just about Jeff, it was about the toxic cycles in the rap world. Loyalty, betrayal, and power struggles. Suddenly, what was once underground street drama became a cultural conversation, while the internet did its thing. Jeff's family faced the impossible. They were pushed into the spotlight, forced to deal with grief and public scrutiny all at once. A heartbreaking video surfaced of Jeff's sister breaking down, pleading for peace and respect, saying, "This isn't a game. He was my brother." Fans were torn between respecting the family's pain and demanding more answers. On the flip side, some members of Jeff's crew started to disappear from social media, going private, deleting posts, or just ghosting entirely. It made everyone wonder, who's really behind all this? Who's hiding, and who's ready to come clean? The silence from some of these figures only fed the conspiracy fire. But the real game changer: the surprise interview with a key player who had been silent until now. This person was close to Jeff, had insider knowledge, and agreed to talk on the condition of anonymity. The interview dropped like a bomb, full of emotional reveals, unexpected alliances, and stories that made the whole situation feel like a wild Netflix doc. They talked about Jeff's mindset before everything went down, how he was caught between loyalty and survival, how he wanted to break free but felt trapped by the people around him. They confirmed the growing suspicion that some of Jeff's closest allies had turned against him, and that the situation was more complicated than anyone realized. Their words painted a picture of a young artist fighting not just external enemies, but internal demons and betrayal. That interview sparked a fresh wave of conversation online. Fans shared clips, memes, and reactions. The narrative shifted from just shock to a deep dive into what it means to be loyal in a world that feels like it's set up for betrayal. Meanwhile, some rappers started paying tribute through music. Songs dropped with lines that hit hard, real emotional bars that made you think about trust, loss, and the cost of the hustle. These tracks quickly blew up on TikTok and YouTube, with fans sharing them as soundtracks to the whole saga. And just when people thought the story was about to calm down, the Shadow account posted again, this time with a video showing what looked like a secret meeting. Blurry, but with voices you could recognize. The post claimed this meeting was where some of the key players plotted against Jeff, sealing his fate. The video was shared millions of times, with people breaking it down frame by frame. Looking for clues, the fallout from that post was wild. Some of the people involved denied everything, calling it fake or deepfake, while others went silent. The internet was split between conspiracy theorists convinced it was proof, and skeptics warning not to jump to conclusions. Amid all this, fans kept coming back to one big question: was this justice? Or was Lil Jeff just another pawn in a dangerous game played by people way above his level? The complexity of the situation was insane. On one side, you had real betrayal and heartbreak. On the other, rumors of setups, power plays, and industry politics. The lines between victim and villain were blurred, and the internet was divided. But through all the noise, one thing was clear: Lil Jeff's story wasn't just about the tragedy of one artist. It was about a culture that's often left to figure things out in the dark, with no clear answers, just questions. The story is far from over. The next moves from the people involved, the family, and the insiders could flip everything again. Fans are on edge, waiting for the next leak, the next reveal, the next truth bomb. And honestly, that's why you gotta stay tuned. Because if you think this tea is done brewing, you're dead wrong. There's still so much to unpack. I'm here for all of it. I'm here for all of it. Alright fam, Here's the real talk: was this justice for Lil Jeff? Or was it all just a setup from the jump? We've seen betrayal, lies, fake friends, and a whole lot of chaos. But the real question: who's really pulling the strings behind the scenes? Is Jeff's story the truth finally coming to light? Toward just another chapter in the rap game's dark underbelly. I know y'all got opinions, and honestly, this story's got way more layers than we can peel in one vid. So drop your takes in the comments right now. Do you think Melly really beat the system, or is this all cap? Who do you believe, the whistleblower, the family, the insiders, or the shadow account? And what do you think happens next? Smash that like button if you're here for all the wild twists and tea. Turn on those notifications because, trust me, this saga ain't over. We're just getting started, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. For real though, this isn't just some viral dramates, a story about loyalty, loss, and the messy truth behind the fame. So stick around, because I'm going to be here breaking down every leak, every drama, and every moment as it unfolds. Until then, keep your eyes open, your minds sharp, and remember, sometimes the truth is stranger than the tea. Peace out. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.